Hello, welcome to Anime Territory. I'm your host this week, Johnny Ruhal. With me, as always, my co-host, Benjamin Strawberry Sandwich Shabbing.
You want a strawberry sandwich?
I realized as I hit record that I hadn't finalized what your nickname was going to be, and I thought about doing the thing we talked about, but I wouldn't have been able to put it in the right words without writing it out. So I'm like, too late, strawberry sandwich it is. Another thought that was in my head. Because those are a thing in this show.
Mm-hmm.
This week we're talking about More Than a Married... Or no. We will be talking about More Than a Married Couple, but not Lovers, but not the whole show.
Oh, we are?
Well, I'm just going to compare
okay.
it. We're talking about I'm Getting Married to a Girl I Hate in My Class, a much worse show.
Okay.
Let's start with spoiler-free impressions and ratings. I want your rating. You said it got bumped down a number in the very last episode.
Yeah.
So what were you at? What was your defense for where you were at? And what was your defense for moving it down a point?
Okay. I had it at 5.
Okay.
Which is, I think, okay.
Yes.
So I'm like, okay, this is a 5. Next episode, they're going to do the thing where they finally reveal their feelings. Then that didn't happen. So I moved it down to 4.
Okay. Yeah, you were presuming that the show was going to be like, or that they were going to be at the point where they're like, okay, time to reveal the feelings. Like, nah, this is probably just like a season 1. This is probably half of the story, if even that. So I was not expecting a confession from her this episode whatsoever.
Okay.
So that didn't move it down. I had it at a 5. And
Okay.
I'm leaving it at a 5. It was okay. There are parts I really don't like. And I could probably bump it down to a 4. I don't know. Maybe I'll bump it down to a 4. I feel like I want to give it some credit, but I don't know. I don't want to say it's bad. Is the only thing. So
it's not necessarily bad. It's just frustrating.
It's frustrating as hell. And it's not necessarily good.
Yeah. That's
the thing. Like, I can't give it a 6. There's no way I could give it a 6. I can give it a 5 at the highest. But I don't think I can go lower than a 4.
Okay. It's just, this is what I hate about romance animes. Is when there's nothing happens.
Okay. So let's...
Basically, they're in the same situation they were when the show started.
So the show starts off as like, okay, yeah, like they start off, they bicker all the time. Got it. Then they start to like mend bridges and talk about things to be like, we have to figure out how to live together because we were forced into marriage by our grandparents, you know, in order to achieve our dreams of going to medical school or taking over the family company. And it's like, okay, hey, look, there's genuine stuff here. They're growing closer. They're learning to deal with each other, give each other space, but also spend time with each other.
Yeah.
But Akane just keeps fucking shit up to her own degradation. Like, she's the worst kind of tsundere where we get a glimpse of her internal thought process. Some tsunderes, we don't ever get a glimpse of their internal thought process. Like, I don't think we really get much of a glimpse into Asuka from Evangelion's thought process. Like, we don't get her internal monologue.
Mm-hmm.
We might get a glimpse of her thought process when she's breaking down and yelling about things, but like,
yeah.
But those are moments of genuine like humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this, we get her thought process, and she just cannot be honest with herself. Like, the end of this show is not her confessing her feelings to him; it's confessing her feelings for him to herself and her friend.
Yeah,
like. That should have happened 4 episodes ago, lady. Like, you keep getting mad when your friend is all over your husband. And you keep not saying anything because saying something would admit your feelings. And you can't even admit them to yourself.
Yeah,
and
this
that
is just immediately spoilers. We're just
I don't give a
about
shit.
This. Because, like, the problem is, this show, there would be no show if all she did was say, when she said, hey, in a long time no see, he's like, who are you? Be like, oh, I'm from that party we went to. He'd be like,
I guess I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
You're
You
that
never
girl.
told me your name.
Yeah. Show over.
They wouldn't have hate each other. That's the only reason she hates him, is because he didn't realize that she was the same girl from 6 or 7 years ago when she...
I mean, every reason she has to hate him after that is just her trying to pick at flaws. Like,
Yeah.
you know, he's cool and aloof, which some people would think of as like, oh, he's cool and aloof. That's attractive. It's like, no, he's cool and aloof. He thinks he's better than me. Like, no, he doesn't. I mean, other than like, does he think that he got better grades than you? Yes. Does he think that he's a better person than you? No. Like, you make assumptions based off of things, and you make them for the worse because of that one inciting incident. Yeah, it's just so frustrating seeing her backslide. Like, you were getting along.
Yeah.
You could grow more. It's fine, which is why I wanted to talk about More Than a Married Couple, but Not Lovers, because I think they do a good job of like, hey, these people start off, they don't really give a shit about the other person. They're like, oh yeah, you're just here.
Mm-hmm.
And they have feelings for other people, and those feelings don't necessarily go away. Though I think the girls does kind of, I think we get that hers shifts more towards him. I'm trying to remember.
Okay.
More than for this for More Than a Married Couple, but not lovers. You know, it's like, oh yeah, they grow together and they become friends. They don't have this like antagonistic. They never really had an antagonistic relationship, but it's like, oh hey, look, we can have them grow together. We can have the one guy still be interested in the other girl, but like start to think about, okay, well, what about this girl that's near me? And maybe I just like this other girl because I put her up on a pedestal, you know, or maybe my feelings for this are premature.
Talk about this tutoring Blue Box, I think, but
yeah, probably. But it's just like, you can have that. You can have multiple love interests and like have somebody grow closer with somebody that they don't quite get along with. You can do it. It's been done. And this show just doesn't have any way of keeping the status quo. They're like, we have to keep the status quo that she's bickering with him, but also throw in some cute moments so we don't lose everybody. But also, she just can never admit anything because that would mean the show's over. But it's like, she couldn't even admit it to herself until the very last episode of this. And it's like, why couldn't you do this 4 episodes ago? You were at a breaking point like 3 episodes ago. Like,
yeah.
And you just kept getting hurt past that. Yeah, this show is most certainly frustrating. Yeah, I mean, that honestly covers most of my notes for this show.
Okay. So I think when we originally talked about it, I think we said, hey, this has some potential, I think.
Yes. It did not
And
live up to that potential.
Yeah. I think it was okay, though, like halfway through, because again, they were doing the progression of their relationship.
They were starting to figure out, like, okay, you take care of this, I'll take care of this, and we can live together. Mm-hmm. And then it's just like, okay, I guess we'll just keep throwing girls at him.
Yeah, but
and have her get mad that he's spending time with girls. And when he's like, hey, I realize you're mad. I'm being attentive here. What can I do to help out?
She doesn't do anything about it.
Yeah, she doesn't do anything, and she refuses to let him do anything about it. And except for just get worse and worse. You want him to want you, but you don't want to
admit it.
Admit it, even to yourself.
Yeah,
and it just gets so frustrating episode after episode. Mm-hmm. I think we should talk about some of the characters.
Yeah, let's talk about some of the characters.
So, how do you feel about Saito?
He's okay. He's kind of milquetoast.
Yes, very much middle of the road, generic anime protagonist. The plot happens to him. He does not happen to the plot.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have much agency, is I guess what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm. He's just super smart because he memorizes everything.
He's got a perfect memory, except he can't, like, I guess, see progression from a 12-year-old to a 15/16-year-old. He can't recognize that as the same person, which is fine. That's not the same as having a perfect memory. Didn't get her name. I'm sure that she had given her name, he would have remembered it because, again, he has a perfect memory.
Yeah.
Though there is most certainly a time when he said something like, I forgot, in like a text message. And it's like, but you have a perfect memory. I
didn't catch that.
I caught it once, but I couldn't tell you what the context was. I think it was a text message that he sent where he's just like, I forgot about this. It's like, then you don't really have a perfect memory, do you?
You have a near perfect memory.
Anyway.
But yeah, he's basically generic.
Yeah, I give him a 5 out of 10. Milquetoast. He's there. He serves his purpose of having girls around him that are more interesting.
One thing you can say is that he's trying.
Yes, you can say that. He is trying to build bridges. Mm-hmm. He's not being actively hostile. Mm-hmm. He is only bickering when she starts bickering and is being unreasonable about things. In the last episode,
he never willingly starts the arguments.
No.
She is the one who's always starting the arguments.
And she's like, how dare you come into me in my room? He's like, this is the fucking kitchen. I'm allowed to be in the kitchen, damn it. That is the last episode. That is after she admits her feelings. She's mad at him for coming into her room, quote unquote, the kitchen. It's like, I'm allowed to be here. This is a shared space. It's like, and it just hurts Akane more that she always takes the position of being absurd. I don't like its portrayal of her. I feel like she could be a better character if she wasn't always taking the wrong side. And it's like, is this... I don't know. Now I'm getting into a deep dive. It's like, is this how the author views women? That the poor men are just trying to defend themselves and it's always the women bickering about nonsense? I really hope that's not the case.
Doubt it. But
I hope I'm not supporting a misogynist by watching the show.
I mean, you're not supporting it. You watched it, but you definitely don't support it.
I mean, I'm paying a Crunchyroll subscription,
That's
and I contributed to the view count. Though I guess I could say that you contributed to the view count, and I was just there.
Yeah, there you go. Blame it on me.
Okay. But it's just like, come on. I don't want to take the side of the milquetoast guy, but you are being unreasonable almost all of the time. Mm-hmm. And he was a little unreasonable when I first moved in, where he's like, well, live off of cup ramen and this protein powder that I've taught myself to love, this weird, gross shake that has all the nutrients for a day. Mm-hmm. And it's like, no, that's wrong. You need to be an adult. You need to eat better. And that's coming from me, who eats like shit. Mm-hmm. But at least I don't eat a gross, I don't know, smoothie of...
At least that has nutrients, though.
Yeah, something. And it's flavor and variety. Not much variety, but it's got some. Okay, but that's enough to talk about Saito. I think we've also probably talked about Akane enough.
She's kind of the worst.
Yeah.
She's the Brit of the show.
Oh, Akane's in this one? Okay. How do you feel about Shisei?
I do not like Shisei. I just don't like that dynamic.
Yeah.
In any show.
Shisei's got a troublesome dynamic in that it's the incest angle. Mm-hmm. But it's cousin incest, but she calls him brother.
Yeah. She always refers to herself as sis, I think.
Yeah, they refer to each other as brother and sister, mm-hmm. and knowing that they're cousins, and it's like, okay, I think at the start she's a little bit better because there's not necessarily she's close, but she's not in love with him, but she most certainly is.
Oh, I thought she got better towards the end. I thought that went away more.
I think in the middle she's more like, okay, this is a thing, because he goes to her house and the mom is like, you should marry Shisei, and he's like, nope.
Cousins.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not interested in doing that.
What is this, America?
And she definitely, I think still wants to, but I think she's backed off a bit, mm-hmm. is the thing, towards the end. But I feel like in the very beginning, it can be, ambiguous as to, okay, is she, into him, or are they just close? And then in the middle, it's like, oh, no, she's into him.
Oh, yeah.
And then I think she just sort of backs off towards the end.
Yeah, I guess. I don't like it. I don't like that dynamic at any time.
Okay. You probably should not watch the full-on incest one. Why can't I think of what that's called?
It's not like Ori Imo.
Yeah, Ori Imo. Okay. You probably shouldn't watch Ori Imo.
Okay.
Which, to be fair to Ori Imo, the incest ship is the best ship in the show. But... I'm sorry. I know that's a Giga take there. That's literally his take on that show. I'm fairly for sure. But it's like, oh yeah, no. They have chemistry. I get it. That's another example of they kind of start off as bickering and cold to each other, and then it turns into more of a, okay, they grow their relationship. because they're sort of just like, how do I deal with?
So the incest show did it better.
Yes, the incest show did it better. With now, to be fair, they had 2 seasons
Okay.
to do it, and
Okay.
and like season 1, the dude dates a different person. Like he's together with a different person for a good part of the show.
Okay.
But yeah, it's very much they did a better because it starts off with they're very like cold to each other because he's sort of a nerd and she's sort of a popular girl.
Okay.
But she is a closet nerd.
Oh.
And I think she's just trying to like keep a cold distance because she's trying to like fight these feelings of like, nope, that's not right. So I'm going to keep my distance. And he's just like, I don't know, we used to be close, and now since high school we're not. And then he figured out, wait a minute, you're a closet nerd. And then they start hanging out, and they hang out with other people, and then it goes from there. And they did a better job than this show. I will say this, Orimo is not a bad show. It's a pretty good show. It's just got incest in it. Okay. So
it's a Wincest show.
Yeah. Though there's sort of like they get spoilers for Orimo. They get together and then they're like, okay, and they like go to one of those pretend to marry places. You've seen those in anime before.
Oh yeah.
They go to one of those and they're like, okay, and now we call it off. And it's because they're just like, we can't do this. We're brother and sister. So
okay.
And then there might be like a little bit of a hint at the end that was like, nah, we're not done yet.
Okay.
But it's ambiguous.
Okay.
So, I don't know. Anyway, maybe we should watch Orimo for this.
Maybe.
I've already spoiled it for it. I'm gonna have to make a note in the description of this episode that we spoil a little bit of More Than a Married Couple But Not Lovers and Orimo.
Does Dylan watch Orimo?
I'm sure he has. I'm sure he's read it. You want me to text him right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ask him if he's watched it and or read it. And if he's...
Hey, in the middle of a record right now for a show called I'm Getting Married to a Girl I Hate in My Class. Not a good show. Don't watch it. But in the discussion
that we are currently having,
Orimo got brought up. Have you seen that show or read that manga? Please reply post haste. Anything else I should add in there?
Nah.
Okay. Sent it. We'll see if we get a response before the end of this episode. So yeah, the Shisei dynamic, weird. Not a dynamic you like. I think she is okay at the beginning. I think she gets worse in the middle, and she's okay at the end.
Yeah, she just kind of loses focus in the last part, so...
Yeah, she was just not a part of the plot in the last part, per se. Because we get introduced to another character that is another little sister character, which is Akani's sister, Maho!
Maho!
What are your thoughts on Maho?
She's okay.
Yeah, I kind of like Maho.
Yeah.
I think she rates higher than Shisei or Akani. Her one sin is that she is not genuinely interested in Saito at the beginning. Akani.
Oh, Akani. Sorry.
What did I say?
I thought you said like Hikani or something.
Maybe. She's just like, okay. I mean, she both is and is not interested in Saito.
Well, like,
at the beginning, I think
she's
not, but I think she's sort of into him after it's revealed that you're doing this even though you're not into me, sort of thing.
She basically like tries to seduce him so that her sister doesn't have to marry him.
Yes. Oh, I got a response from
Ooh, that was
Rowie.
quick.
After a quick Google search, it looks familiar, but can't say for certain.
Oof.
It's also called, I think it's called My Little Sister Can't Be This Cute.
Oof. Oh yeah, that is called that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll say it's also called My little sister can't be this cute. Has a legit incest
Spoilers.
winning ship. I'll just say has a legit incest ship in it. This is important.
Please.
Shabs' life depends on your answer. There we go.
That means if he's seen it, we don't do it. But if he hasn't, we have to watch it. Or
I think so.
okay,
That's what I mean by your life is. If he's seen it, we've got to do it. We got to have him on, and we got to watch.
If he's seen it, we got to do it.
If he's seen it, well, okay, wait, sorry. What do you want? You want this to be? If he's seen it, does that mean he and I have to do it without you on the podcast?
No, I just feel like then, I don't have to watch it because he already knows about it.
Okay, so I think we should set some precedents right now. So I think we should cover it on the podcast, no matter what, at this point. But if Dylan has seen it, you don't have to be on that episode. It'll be a me and Dylan only special.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Wow.
If he hasn't seen it, do we have all three of us, or does it have to be a you and Dylan only special?
No, you have to be here.
I have to be here?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's what we do. If he hasn't seen it, we have to get him to watch it, and then we'll cover it on the podcast at some point. I'm not guaranteeing next episode or even this year, because he's got 4 kids. We got to give him some time. There's 2 seasons. But if he hasn't seen it, you've got to watch it, and we got to all 3 of us cover it. But if he has seen it, it can just be me and him talking about it.
Okay.
Do you agree to those terms?
Sure.
We're going to shake on it in front of the mic. I don't know if that picked up. Probably didn't. Okay. So, Maho. Back to Maho. Maho is very sexually aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
She is also very sickly. She has to take medicine or else she'll die.
Yep.
It is very much implied by Akane that she died when she was younger. And then Akane's like, no, she just doesn't live near me anymore.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, what the fuck, Akane? You're the worst.
God. I can't believe you Brited this.
So, yeah, if we're rating the girl so far, Akane's getting like a 2.
Yeah.
We're rating the characters. Akane's getting a 2. Saito's getting a 5. Shisei, I'm going to give a 5. Maho, I'll give her a 6.
Okay.
Now, the last main character here is Himari, which is Akane's best friend and somebody that is openly in love with Saito and trying to pursue him. But also trying to do it knowing Akane likes him, trying to force her. She's the one trying to force Akane to actually fucking be honest with herself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's the best character.
Okay. But what do you rate her?
I don't know, 6 or 7?
Yeah, I'd say she's still just an okay character. Yeah. She may be the best character, so I guess we'll give her a 7.
And the bar's low, but she's the best character.
Yeah, she clears the bar as best character. It's, I don't know. I feel like I've liked her character type in other shows where it's just like, oh, she's honest and genuine.
Yeah, at this point, you're just glad she's honest with her feelings.
Yes.
It's like, thank you. At least somebody's being honest here.
You're pushing your friend to be honest. You are being honest. Nothing you are doing is even though you feel like you might be doing something underhanded, you giving Akane every opportunity
my
to
stance
fucking
is,
say something.
If she's not doing anything, this is no fault of your own. This is not your fault.
Okay, I have an answer from Dylan here.
Okay.
You ready to decide the fate? I would say the answer is no, I haven't.
Damn it.
Okay. It has, just part of this, it's just us texting Dylan. Okay, I think this should be a recurring bit.
Okay.
Okay, it has been decided you need to watch the show and come on the podcast to talk about it if you had seen it, you would still need to do that. But Shabs
now has to do it.
Could have dipped out for that. Could have dipped out for... Shabs could have dipped out for it. Now he has to watch it as well.
Thanks a lot, Roey.
You just text him that. Just text. You get your phone out and text him. Thanks a lot, Ro.
I'm sure I have his phone number somewhere. I can find it.
Yeah. Himari's also got like a little like side story where she may have like an abusive stepmom or something, or maybe an emotionally abusive stepmom. She doesn't like her stepmom and doesn't want to be in her house with her stepmom.
That could just be like just because it's her stepmom and she doesn't like it. I don't know.
No, she's at like a point where she's like, I will not be in the house if she's in the house, sort of thing. Like unless it's nighttime or whatever, and maybe not even then. So it is I don't know, like that. That feels like they're just throwing it in there, and it's not developed enough, and maybe it'll be developed more. But it just feels like okay. And now you also have to feel sorry for Himari too. So they're really pushing the Himari thing, and she's really pushing making her best friend a cuck.
Thruple.
I mean, there have been animes that end with harems.
4K Los Dos.
Or that are in harems, all canonical harems, all to begin with. Mainly the 100 girlfriends who really, 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 really love you. And yes, I have to count out the reallys on my hand every time. I can't keep track.
That one doesn't count. It's a life or death situation for that one.
Yeah, they'll die if they're not in the harem. We must save these souls.
Okay, are you caught up on that?
I am caught up on that. There's one more episode.
One more episode? Are they going to introduce another girl?
I don't think so. I think we're done introducing girls this episode.
Okay.
They did this last season too, where the last two episode arc. Well, maybe not the last two episodes. There's definitely arcs where it's like, hey, we're going back and focusing on one of these characters again.
Oh, okay.
So the first season we went back. There's two girls that started it. The first season we kind of had an arc where we went back and focused on one of them. Mm-hmm. Though that one I would say but they did introduce another girl because then he fell in love with her mom too. So okay. So I can't just say there's
a mother-daughter.
There's a mother-daughter in the harem.
How does that? Oh, okay.
And a maid that serves their family.
You can have children with not a soulmate. I get it.
Well, yeah. Well, it's also the dad is dead
too.
Died really young. She was a teenager when she gave birth to her, and the dad died really young. There's a whole thing where the ghost of the dad is you take care of her for me. I'm glad that she's found you.
Yeah,
that's a thing in the show. I'm not even kidding.
Hippie pop.
Fuck the mother of my child, please, and my child, please.
God,
I don't want them to die. I don't know. There are parts where I'm just this is just fucking ridiculous. I love this. And there are parts where I'm all right, what's this girl's thing? She's a narcissist? Got it.
Done. All right, whatever episode. May not be the next episode, but whatever episode that we record after that show is over, you got to do the ranking.
Well, I was figuring that I would... When we talk about our spring season, we do a wrap up of the shows that we watch separately. Okay. And I would kind of talk about it a bit then.
Okay, that's fine.
That one wrap up the winter season as we start the spring season. So, did Dylan respond to you?
Not yet.
Okay, I haven't gotten a response either.
I just said thanks a lot, Roy.
Nice. Okay. I mean, we talked about the characters. We talked about how much the show frustrates us.
It's just a really frustrating show.
Do you have any other notes on this show?
I mean, we can do all aboard.
Okay, let's do all aboard. I will ship Maho and Shisei. The sisters. They seem to be teaming up against them towards the...
Maho and who?
Shisei.
Okay. You're going to ship... Okay. I can get behind that one.
They feel like they'd be, at the very least, that they have some sort of like, yeah, we're both his sister now camaraderie.
Okay. My pick is the grandma and grandpa.
Okay, yeah. 'Cause they're fucking now too. Gotcha.
Yeah. It's a natural shit.
I've got a segment we don't always do.
Okay.
I've got a best boy segment.
Okay.
It's that sick dog they were going to have inherit the company if he doesn't get married to a guy.
They should have just given it to the dog.
Look at that boy. Look at that good boy. I think he's sickly and maybe a little ugly, but damn it, he's a good boy.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to run that company fine, and you're taking that away from him. We could have had a dog-run company.
That's a show.
Dog CEO.
I refuse to get married to the
Right
girl
down-
I hate in class, so now the dog is vice president of the company.
Is the Batgirl the anime sticky note still over there?
It was over there.
Okay, we need to get that out and write Dog CEO the anime.
All right, I'll just write it here.
Okay, that'll go on to our trash TV,
Yeah.
our channel that we get
Dog
there.
CEO,
The anime.
the musical.
The anime, the musical. Okay, okay, all right. What would one of the songs be?
I don't know. It's not my job. I'm just the ideas guy.
Dog Eat Dog World
Yeah.
would be one for sure.
Mm-hmm. Throw me a bone.
Let's see, Gold Digger, but it had Literal Digger.
Barking up the wrong tree.
Barking up. Okay, I was thinking of something like, I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one.
That's just a song.
Yeah, we'll just get that one in there.
Okay.
We'll option the rights for that.
Okay.
But there'll be a dog singing it.
Okay.
It'll be all barks. All the songs are gonna be barks and woofs. But we'll put in the subtitles. We'll subtitle it and put little musical notes so that people know it's a song.
Okay. There's not gonna be music playing.
Yeah, but it'll be drowned out by the dog noises.
Okay. I don't.
And it'll be dog music. You don't know what dog music is? Bad to the Bone? Can we get Bad to the Bone?
I don't know. It'd probably be too expensive. I don't think we would afford these rights.
The Good Boy.
We're just an upstart production company.
The Good Boy. The Good Boy of Business. Forbes is number one good boy. Forbes is top 100 good boys of business.
Forbes is top 100 good boys of business.
That's not a song. That's just like a plot line. Is he's going to be on the cover of Forbes as the good boy of business.
Mm-hmm. Times Good Boy of the Year.
Man, it's never bad boy. You don't say bad boy. You say bad dog.
Bad dog.
Good boy.
Good boy.
You would say good dog sometimes too. Good dog. Good doggy. Okay. We went off tangent quite a few times in this episode. I'm going to give you one last chance. Are there any other... We went into Good Boy. Are there any other ships that you had?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Just the one that I came up with. Shisei and Maho. You don't have any ships?
No, I got the grandma and grandpa.
Oh, the grandma and grandpa. That's right.
Yeah.
You said that. Okay. Yeah. We're not shipping Saito with anyone. He does... He
Right now,
hasn't
he might be
done
better
anything
off by
wrong.
himself.
He hasn't done anything wrong, but he doesn't deserve Himari, and the other ones don't deserve him. Maybe Maho.
I don't know. I wouldn't mind Himari and Saito. Because at least she's upfront about the relationship.
Yeah, I just feel like
Saito isn't interested.
Saito's
all
not
that
interested
much.
in her whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
So
I wouldn't say whatsoever, but he has no interest in her right now.
But he also doesn't have a reason to not be interested because, again, Akane keeps closing that door.
Mm-hmm.
He keeps peeking in.
He wants to open that door. She just keeps closing it on him.
She puts a chair underneath the knob, too, so you can't...
Puts a bunch of chains on it. Deadlock. I'm trying to think about I think that's it. Like his
chains, deadlock, deadbolt is what you're thinking.
Deadbolt, yeah.
She's got, like, the little, like, giant wooden beam that they put in front of the big doors.
Yeah.
Doors
she's
there.
got like a latch.
Mm-hmm.
She's got like a security code.
Yeah, laser grid too.
Laser grid.
Ring camera.
Mm-hmm.
All of it's set up.
Just a pool of sharks.
The pool of sharks is
With
crazy.
lasers in their face.
Sharks with freaking lasers. Okay. You can find us on Twitter as at anime_territory. And or you can find us anywhere podcasts are found as Anime Territory. And on YouTube as Anime Territory. You are now leaving the Anime Territory.
Goodbye.